Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Hi, this is Jason Gorenstein, and I am bringing you Urban Zen Integrative Therapy. As we join our Saturday practice, today is Saturday, June the 27th, 2020. The time is just about 1 p.m. It's 1 on the dot, and I hope that you're having a lovely afternoon. A quick shout out to Colleen. Colleen, so nice to have you here. I hope you're having a wonderful day as well. Oh, Madonna, so nice to have you here. Perfect. So we have our little crew here, and it's really nice. So Colleen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope your day is going well. Madonna as well. So nice to see you ladies here. So this is our Urban Zen Integrative Therapy. And if for anybody who's new to practice, this is oh, Jonathan, excellent. This is a great class. Oh, and Karen! Oh my God! So we got a crew. We got a crew together. So welcome everyone. My name is Jason Gorenstein. Anybody else who is joining us, I'm so happy. Got a nice little crew of yogis here, and we are ready for our practice. So this is a very gentle class. I will share that with you all. For anybody that doesn't know, Urban Zen Integrative Therapy is a very relaxing class. So a lot of the class, we're just going to be lying in postures. Today is going to be more oriented towards a restorative class. Jonathan, I'm not quite sure if you have yoga props. If you don't, just let me know or just follow my instruction. I'll give you some suggestions for postures you could take. So look at this class to be like an hour Shavasana. It's going to be a very relaxing class today. We'll do some gentle movements, but overall this class is going to be very relaxing. So without further ado, let us begin, and we're going to find our way onto our mats. And I'm going to set you guys up in a posture called supported relaxation pose. So I got a ton of props right here, and I'll be giving you guys some, instruction for if you don't have these props. So what I'd like you to do is take a blanket. So Jonathan, I'm not quite sure if you have props or not. I know some of the other ladies I know do, so just let me know, and I'll give you some instructions. I'd recommend maybe grabbing yourself a towel, like a bathing towel, and folding it like this. So you'll fold your towel, and you'll place it right here for your head. Then if you have a couch cushion, you could take a couch cushion or just like a throw pillow, like one of those a pillow that you put on your bed, put it right here, and you're gonna lie down. Some of us are gonna place a bolster underneath our legs. So Madonna, I believe you have props. I know some of the other ladies we checked in last week, and I'm fairly positive Colleen has some props and Karen has some props. So what you're gonna do is just lie on down, on your back. You're going to take your lower back and you're going to pull this blanket or towel right up against your back. So you pull it right up against your low back. Then you just release your entire spine onto these blankets. You take this pillow for the head, you release it on here, and then just release the arms out to the sides. I'm so happy, guys. I've wanted to create a community in this practice. Let me see. Oh, perfect, Jonathan. So just let me know. You can always check in, but I'd recommend just taking a blanket, using it under your back, and then using a blanket for your head. This blanket underneath, or this bolster or pillow underneath your legs, this is going to help out with your low back. And close your eyes. Close your eyes. And I'm going to be guiding you all through a meditation practice. So you're going to close those eyes and just begin to observe your breathing. So guys, Urban Zen Integrative Therapy is a practice that combines 4 elements: Reiki, mindfulness, yoga therapy, and essential oils. I'd like you to start out firstly. We have our first yoga posture. This is our yoga therapy. Now, if you have an essential oils, maybe grab yourself some, let's see. Oh, sweet. Awesome, Jonathan. Excellent. This has been my dream, guys. Okay, guys. So as you feel ready, lower yourself on down and just begin to close your eyes here. And if you have an essential oil, Colleen, I'm not quite sure if you have any essential oils, but now would be a good time to use either lavender or lemon oil. Jonathan, if you don't, I don't know. Madonna, I believe you have some oils. So if you have some lemon or lavender oil, I'd like you to either rub that on your hands or place that on a tissue and just hold that tissue right in front of you here as you breathe. And just let those eyes be closed. And allow your breath to be long and slow. And as you breathe, continue to rub that smell in and breathe in that smell. Good. So in today's practice, guys, as I shared with you earlier in the class, today is going to be a really relaxing class. So hopefully you're looking for something like this. Sometimes we do more movement, but today, I don't know, if you've ever come to my classes in the studio, in Studio City, sometimes I teach a very relaxing class. So today is going to be a more relaxing class. And you'll close your eyes here. And you'll continue to breathe. So let those eyes close. Let the breath go long and slow. And I'm going to be guiding you guys through a meditation right now. So guiding your breath, noticing your inhalations, and noticing your exhalations. Okay. So as you notice your inhalations and exhalations, we're going to start with what we call mindful movements. So you're still going to be here lying on your back, but you're just going to start by pressing your toes away from you. And then you'll relax your toes. And then you'll press your toes away from you. And you'll relax your toes. You'll press your toes away. And you'll relax your toes. You'll press your toes away. And you'll relax your toes. And then from here, as you feel ready, you're going to take your shoulders, release your shoulders on down. You're going to take your thumb to touch the forefinger, and then you're going to release. The thumb touches the forefinger, and the thumb releases. Thumb touches the forefinger, and the thumb releases. Thumb touches the forefinger, and the thumb releases. So guys, if anybody has lower back issues, I got a couple of suggestions or modifications here, okay? One way that you could alleviate lower back issues is to make sure that you have this blanket right underneath your back. So you may feel tailbone. You may feel like your tailbone starts to bother you. So if your tailbone's bothering you, I'd recommend just rolling into side lying pose. So you'll just roll on your side. You can fold a blanket for the head. So this is a way of taking the same variation pose if you want, but just to be able to relax here. So you'll close those eyes and just let the breath be long and slow. So lie on your side if you have lower back issues. Otherwise, you're going to move the thumb over towards your middle finger and you're going to touch. And you're going to release. And you're going to touch. And you're going to release. You're going to touch. And you're going to release. You're going to touch. You're going to release. Then take your thumb, move it over one more finger. So move your thumb over to the pointer finger and touching here. And releasing. And touching. And releasing. Touching, even if you're lying on your side. And releasing. And touching. And releasing. And moving to the next finger. So now the thumb touches the pinky finger and releases. And thumb touches the pinky and releases. Thumb touches pinky. Thumb releases. Thumb touches pinky. Thumb releases.
And now take your wrists and just begin to coil your wrists around in small circles. And if you have that essential oil, you could bring your hands or that oil towards the nose. You could breathe that in for a moment and then breathe out. Just move your fingers in the other direction. And continue to breathe here as you move those fingers around. And once again here, taking the fingers, holding them over the nostrils, breathing in here. And then releasing and continuing to just move those hands around in circles. Very nice. And then from here, you'll take your hands and you'll place them over tops of your shoulders, and you'll gently begin to move the shoulders in circles here. Moving the shoulders in circles any amount. Good. And then the opposite direction. Nice. Very nice, everyone. All right. And then from here, as you feel ready, you're going to take your knees, you're going to bring them to a bent position. So let's say your feet are on a pillow here, and you're going to hug your right knee into the chest and just begin to rock your right knee slightly out and draw that right knee slightly in. And bring that right knee slightly out and draw that right knee slightly in. Bring that right knee slightly out. Very good, yogis. And draw that right knee slightly in. And bring that right knee slightly out. And bring that right knee slightly in. So release that right foot down, hug the left knee into the chest, and do the same. So left knee draws out, and the left knee comes back in. And your left knee draws out, and your left knee comes back in. Left knee draws out, left knee draws back in. Left knee draws out, left knee draws back in. So take your feet down on your bolster and just let your knees kind of roll in towards one another. And then let your knees start to sway side to side. So first we did it forwards and backwards, and now we're going side to side. So if you're still lying on your side here, one option that you could do is just let your knee kind of rock around like this. So anybody who's lying on their side, if you're still on your side, you can do this option. Or you could roll over to the other side and do this on the other side. So exactly like this, just moving that knee around. Only those of us who are on our side. I'm recommending most of us to just keep moving from side to side here with the legs. Good. And then as you feel ready, squeeze the hands into a fist here and open the palms out. And squeeze those hands into a fist. And open your palms out. And squeeze your hands into a fist. And open your palms out. And squeeze your hands into a fist. And open your palms out. That's it. And now as you feel ready, as you roll over onto your side, you're going to be here for a moment. So what I'd recommend doing is taking your pillow and just folding it one more time over just so that you have something to rest on, and just breathing here. Eyes are closed. Breath is long and slow. And just continue to breathe here. As you breathe in and out, just be here for a few moments. We're actually going to come back to this posture, guys. What I want to do now is just get a little bit of movement in the body, and then we're going to return back to all these restoratives. So today is going to be a more restorative-based class. So, we'll do some movement, but we're going to do more restoratives in today's practice. So as you feel ready, begin to press your way on up. Begin to press your way on up. Good, guys. All right, perfect. And as you feel ready, we're going to begin to take a few rounds of cat and cow pose. So cat and cow pose is a really nice way to kind of warm up into the body. So, guys, as we find our way into our practices, so inhale, peeling the chest on up, and exhale, rounding across your spine. And inhale, peeling your chest on up, and exhale, rounding across the spine. Inhale, peeling your chest on up. Exhale, rounding across your spine. Inhale, peeling your chest on up. Exhale, rounding across the spine. Very nice, yogis. Okay, so walk your hands over towards your right. So I'm going to come forward just so you guys can see. So walk your hands over your right. And as you walk your hands over your right, inhale, peel up your chest. And exhale, rounding. And inhale, peel up your chest. Lift the chest, lift the heart. And exhale, round. Inhale, peeling up your chest. And exhale, rounding here. Inhale, peeling up your chest. And exhale, rounding. Walk those hands back to center. Take those hands to the other side. So a few rounds here of inhale, lifting. And exhale, rounding. And inhale, lifting. And exhale, rounding. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, rounding. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, rounding. Good. So as you feel ready, walking back onto your side, we're going to take a nice little downward facing dog pose. So spread across the fingers here. Float the thigh bones on up, and then just draw the legs on back as you come into downward facing dog. And as you take downward facing dog, bending the left knee, straightening across the right leg. Bending the right knee, straightening across the left leg. And just being here a few more times of bending and straightening. And bending and straightening. And then as you feel ready, releasing those knees down to the mat once again. Inhale, peeling up the chest and the heart. Exhale, rounding through the spine. So now what I'd like you to do is take your left hand, weave it on through your right arm, and release that head down to the floor. Take your right hand, place it over the back, and just release here. And breathe. And breathing in. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. So taking that right palm, placing it on down. Inhale, peeling up the chest and the heart, coming back to center. And you're going to weave through the other side. So take that right arm, weave it underneath, and release your head on down. So if you still have that essential oil, you could bring that essential oil towards the nose. And just breathe in the smell here, taking your left hand behind your back. And continuing to breathe with the body. So breathing in. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. So eventually you'll take your left hand, you'll place it back down to your side. You'll inhale, press your way on up. Good, and we're going to come into our second restorative posture. So what I'm going to have you do is line up a bolster along your side. Now let's say you don't have a bolster. A couple of options. You could take two blankets here and stack them on top of one another. This makes one bolster. Two folded blankets makes a bolster. Another option that you have here is you could take some couch pillows. You could stack two couch pillows alongside of one another and rest down here. So two couch pillows, two blankets, one bolster, all kind of make the same prop. And then as you feel ready here, you'll take your hips over. You'll bring your hips over to the side here. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, bending down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bending down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bending down. Inhale, lifting up. So as you exhale here, release your entire torso onto this blanket or bolster or double pillow. And just release the head here. So this is going to be our really kind of first little holding pose. And as you breathe here, I'm going to just sit up in a meditation posture and guide you guys through a meditation here. So as you continue to breathe here, just close the eyes. And allow that breath to be long and slow. And I'm going to be giving you instruction to follow throughout the body here. So you're going to let your head release down towards that bolster, the blankets, or the pillows. And I'm going to just be describing various parts of the body. And you'll take your awareness or your attention, and you'll just move it to those various parts of the body. So it's a training exercise. It trains us how to pay attention to our sensations, to the physical sensations within our body. And it also helps us to relax our minds. So start by noticing your crown of the head. And feel the crown of the head. The forehead. Temples. Eyes. Ears. Nose. Your cheeks. Observe your lips, the inner mouth, the roof of the mouth, the tongue, the root of the tongue, the throat, the neck. Feel your left shoulder, your left bicep and tricep, elbow, forearm, wrist, thumb, pointer, middle, ring, and pinky finger. Your entire left arm. Now notice the chest as it contours onto either the bolster, the blankets, or the pillows. And as you breathe in, notice the expansion of the back body here. Shoulder blades spreading across the spine. Feel the lower ribs opening up. Feel the lower back expanding here. And as you exhale, feel the softening, the deepening, the releasing. So breathing in, feeling an expansiveness here, expanding across the shoulders, the middle back, the lower back. And as you exhale, noticing here the release, the back muscles and the lower back, entire back. Now you'll breathe into that top leg. So for most of us, it's the left thigh. You'll observe the skin of the left thigh, the left top of the thigh, and the left back of the thigh. The entire left thigh. Feel your left knee, your left shin, left calf, your entire left foot. Notice your big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Observe the entire left side of the body. Good. So, as you feel ready, very gently, you're going to press your way on up, and you're going to roll your way over onto the other side. So you can just take yourself, you could take your setup, you could keep yourself facing towards to the screen if you like, and then releasing that head down. And breathing here. So now as we come into the opposite side of the body, you'll continue to breathe here, and I'll continue to guide you all through a meditation on the opposite side. So noticing here, once again, face muscles. Maybe you can notice the right side of the face this time. On the other side, I apologize, I didn't parse it, but now I will, just so that you guys have a reference point to go by. So the right temple, should have done this on the first time. The right eye socket, the right eye. Feel the right nostril, the right cheek, the right ear, the right jaw, the chin. Feel the right gum line. Notice even the right side of the cheeks and the right side of the mouth, even the right side of the tongue. Notice the right side of the neck. Now we're back to this right shoulder, right bicep and tricep, elbow of the right arm, forearm of the right arm, wrist of the right arm, the right palm. Noticing this time the pinky finger of the right hand, the index finger, ring finger, the middle finger, the pointer finger, the thumb. Feel your entire right arm. Notice your chest, breathing in and breathing out. And notice your shoulder. And breathing in, feel the expansion along the entire right belly, right lower back, and right hip. Move into the right thigh, the right buttocks, the right knee, the right shin, the right calf, the right foot. Observe the entire right side of your body. And release. So now create a reference point here. So you have the left side of your body. Maybe you can notice, once again, just like we did on the right side, the left forehead, the left eye socket, the left nostril, the left cheek, the left inner mouth, the left side of the tongue, left jawline, left neck. And we come back to this because it's okay to come back to it. The left shoulder, left upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, fingers, the left side of the chest, the left upper back, left side of the belly, the left pelvis, left side of the pelvis, left thigh, left knee, left shin, and the left calf and the left foot. So now you have these two distinct planes of energy in the body. You could feel the right side of the body and you could feel the left side of the body. So what I'm going to have you guys do now is you're going to press on up. I'm going to change our position once again. We'll kind of get creative here in today's class. So you're going to come into this pose. You're going to take a block. You're going to place a block right in front of your bolster, if you have a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, let's say you don't have a block. If you don't have a bolster, you could place your legs on two pillows. That should be fine. If you don't have a block, you could place a pillow right behind the bolster if your legs are longer. And then you're going to release your entire body down. Now take a pillow, place it under your head, just like this, pillow under the head, and extend those legs fully forward. And I actually give the instruction for some of you who are more, have been practicing with me for longer. Some of you guys have been in my classes. Some of you guys have been practicing. Actually, all of you guys, I think, have been practicing with me for a long time in various ways, whether in the online world or in the classroom setting. If you have a strap, you could take a strap. And this is a great exercise for anxiety. I know anxiety is a common theme in today's world. And it's okay. It's natural. I think it's become natural, which is okay. It's just how can we live with anxiety and not be overwhelmed by it. You could take your legs and place them inside of the strap. You can strap your legs together just like this. Strap your legs together and extend your legs fully forward. And this is a great exercise for anxiety. So you have your legs which are bound together. You have your your body is elevated, your legs are elevated, so you're in a mild, what we call in a mild inversion. So this is really good for, it's very good for the body's nervous system. Helps to facilitate what we call a parasympathetic response in the body here. And we're going to move into our first practice of Reiki. Now, if you still find that you're anxious here, what I would recommend doing, this is my recommendation, you could take a couple of blankets and just place it over yourself. The more weight you put on the body, usually the less anxiety that you feel. So when you have some weight on top of your body, most people tend to feel less anxious when you start to add weight. So I have these 2 blankets that I put on myself, and then you could just release on here. So I'm going to guide you guys through the Reiki exercises. I'm going to come up into a seated position. So once you're here, find your way up into a seated position. Anytime, guys, you have any questions, I know our classes are done through online, and I can't see you guys yet. Obviously, I think it is possible in the future to create a class where we can all see each other. But for right now, we're using this platform. So I'm going to be demonstrating where to place your hands in my seated posture. So if you guys have any questions of where you should be placing your hands, you can look up at the screen, and I'll be guiding you guys through a couple of the positions of placing your hands. So you're going to begin, first of all, if you placed oil on your hands, just make sure that you turn your palms to face the ceiling, because you don't want oil to be in your eyes. So you're going to start by placing your hands just above your eyes. And this is called Reiki Position number 1. Now, what is Reiki? So for a couple of you guys who maybe I haven't talked too much about Reiki, Reiki is what I like to call Reiki is just relaxation. It is a practice. It's actually a spiritual practice, just like Tai Chi, just like yoga. It has its own disciplinary. But when I really refer to the energy of Reiki, when I think of Reiki, I just think of relaxation. When you feel relaxed, those words, Reiki, to me, that's what Reiki is. It's just relaxation. When you feel completely relaxed. Now, there's an energy behind it. There's an intention. So when you place your hands over the eyes, just like this, you may begin to focus on these guidelines. Guidelines are sometimes referred to as precepts. And the first precept of Reiki is just for today, may I let go of anger. So as you place your hands over those eyes, and you're lying down on your back in that position that I described earlier in class, just for today, may I let go of any anger. And anger is a very natural emotion. In Buddhism, and I'm not a Buddhist, but I practiced a lot of Buddhism. Not formally a Buddhist per se, but I have done a ton of Buddhist practice, Zen Buddhism. And when they talk about Buddhism, and when you talk about practice or focus, you're allowing yourself to repeat the action in order for you to naturally evolve into that space. So the more times we repeat something, it's like tennis. I don't know if any of you play tennis, but the more times that you play tennis, the easier it is for you to develop the muscle memory of tennis. And as you develop that muscle memory, not only do you get better at tennis, but you feel more comfortable playing tennis. So maybe at the beginning you feel somewhat anxious playing tennis, and then you play it a little bit more, and then you play it a little bit more, and eventually you feel very comfortable and confident playing tennis. And it's exactly like that with Reiki. So as we place these hands over the eyes, and as we focus on this idea of relaxation, just see if you can let go a little bit more into that space of relaxation and that space of gratitude. So for me, it may be visualizing you guys placing your hands over the eyes. And that may give me a sense of well-being. Just to see you guys and facilitate that action of knowing that you're placing your hands over your eyes. And then I'd like you to place your hands over the top of your head, over the crown of the head it is, like right here, over the crown of the head. And as you place your hands over the top of your head, you can say to yourself, just for today, may I let go of worry. just for today. May I let go of worry. As a reminder that worries are a natural part of life, but also something that maybe collectively, I was sharing this in my integrative wellness class the other day, that as a class, when we practice together, this is what's so profound. Even in a virtual setting, I don't care if it's virtual or in a classroom, if you're practicing with other human beings at the same time, then everybody is collectively balancing each other's energies. So maybe you come into class one day and you're kind of in a little bit of a rut. Your energy, it gets uplifted by the community. This is called a sangha, a community of people, us practicing together. Even though we're doing it online, we're a community. We become a community. So our community helps each other. We think about each other, even though we may not even never see each other, or maybe we do, but we think about each other, and that helps us to channel each other's energy. That helps to kind of like offset that. Take your hands and place them right behind your head, just like this. So your hands come right behind your head. And as you place your hands behind your head, you continue to focus on these letting goes of worries, letting goes of any fears that you may have. And this is where our body, our emotions are found. So if you were to go into your brain, right, and you like kind of go right to the center of the head, right at that point, there is a section of the brain, it's called the midbrain. It consists of 3 components, right? So we have the pons, which is like this part that controls all of our secretion of hormones and everything like that. You have the hypothalamus, which is controlling all of the feedback responses throughout the body, like the heart rate, the breathing, the blood pressure, all the natural things that happen. Then you have the cerebellum, which is at the very back. It's controlling the root actions of the brain, the root movements. So they often call this part of the brain the primitive brain. It's the closest to the spinal cord, so it's also responsible for being able to move the hands like this, up and down, or forwards and backwards. So all of that's associated with this part of the brain. And when you place your hands there, when you place your hands over that section of the body, it gives your mind, there's like a neurofeedback loop, and it gives your mind this opportunity to really feel into ease or restfulness. So I'm going to give you guys an instruction. If your lower back hurts right now, okay, because we've been holding this position for quite some time, bend your knees. Take your knees and release your knees over to the right side of the room. You can actually take your bolster and place that over to the right. So I'll demonstrate that right now. If you take a quick glance up at your screen, you'll take your bolster out to your side. And it's okay if your legs are still pinned together. You may want to remove that strap. If you want to remove the strap, you can. But you're going to just release the legs over to one side, just like this. And breathe here. And as you continue to breathe, just allowing that breath of yours to be long and slow here. Allowing both your inhalations and your exhalations to be gentle here. And you're going to take your hands now and place your hands over your throat. And your throat, believe it or not, this is where your voice comes from. This is where your, power, a lot of our power is located. So as you place your hands over the throat, maybe channeling this idea of strong voice. The color here is blue. It's often associated with water. This region of the body is often associated with water. So you can rest here, and I'm going to continue to keep narrating for you guys. So as you focus on this idea of water, coolness, if you will, I I often think about the throat as this is like a feeling of repression sometimes, and it feels like you need to scream or you need to yell. Which, I know that that's like kind of funny to talk about in a meditation class, because it's like, that's the opposite of meditation. Like, we're meditating to calm ourselves. But, a lot of times, and this is from my own personal practice, there's sometimes this repression, which happens naturally. Like, we're so concerned, we're so hyper focused on what our thoughts are telling us or what our beliefs are. And we sometimes forget to just like let ourselves be natural. It's not to say you're not going to shift back to your neutrality, or you'll come back to that aspect of yourself that's more neutral. But it's a reminder that it's okay, not all the time, but it's okay occasionally to be able to share your voice. Because I think in life, we were constantly playing with this line of, is it okay to share? Is it not okay to share? Like, it's both. It's okay at times and it's not at times, and just finding a healthy balance in between there. And this is so appropriate because this takes us to the next place, which is our heart. And in yoga practice, they often believe that the heart, my teacher calls this region the Ananda Kanda. The Ananda Kanda, the seat of the soul, or the seat of the heart. And Ananda is like it's like a serpent or a snake. So it's this idea of like your heart being this place where it runs. It's always kind of, it's so funny when you talk about the chakras. I haven't gotten into too much about the chakras, but when you talk about the chakras, everything starts from the base. The root is literally at the base of the pelvis, okay? And you have the first chakra, then you have the second chakra, which is the center of the pelvis. The third is the belly button, the fourth is the heart. Fifth is the throat, sixth is the back of the head, and the front of the head, it's both back and front of the head. Seventh is the top of the head. So Reiki focuses on all those places. But as you place your hands over the heart, remember, everything starts from your base. So sometimes what our heart is telling us is connected to our base. Maybe your base is telling you like you need to connect more with this part of your body. Maybe the base is telling you need to connect more with that part of your body. Whatever it is. I mean, for everybody it's different. And just know that your heart is always trying to guide you back to what your focus is. That's true of all of us, And our voice changes. Remember that. Don't think like the voice that you had 10 years ago, whoever you were is the same you are now. And maybe the you are in 10 years from now is going to be a different you. But being with your present is very important. That's what moves you to the next place, your present. And you're going to take your hands and place them over your belly. And take those legs now and place your legs on the other side. So your legs, they were on the one side. Now, if you look up for a moment, you just take your legs and you'll glide them over the other side, just like this. So we do this to work both parts of our hips. The hip flexors, they get so tight. They get so tight, especially if you guys are if you sit a lot. These days, I haven't been sitting as much, but I have sat a lot in the past. I've done lots and lots of sitting, but now these days not sitting as much, but you do want to feel those hip flexors relax here. So as you place your hands on the belly, this idea of belly is the region of fire. Belly has to do with like hunger, right? It's our ability to be hungry, to want. Our desires come from our belly sometimes, or they come from below the belly, like the pelvis or the root of the pelvis, wherever. I mean, our bodies are very energetic. Our bodies are very energetic. So at times our energy fluctuates. It's normal of a human being. It's true of all human beings, even the ones that come across as the most, never change at all. They change too. They just have their own way of changing. But you want to allow yourself to really receive. You really want to allow yourself to receive as you place your hands on the belly. And this idea of belly, you could repeat this to yourself. May I relax and may I release into ease. May I relax and may I release into ease. And when I think about the belly, I oftentimes think about this idea of simplicity. Because our bellies are they're always functioning. The hearts are kind of complicated because the hearts are kind of simple as well. But our belly is kind of like our gut. It's our intuition. It's like our awareness. You trust, do you go right or left? Have you ever heard of that? Like, is it like trusting in your intuition? That's your belly. It's like, should I go in this direction or should I go in that direction? And you just do it. Some people, they literally just go. They literally just get up and go, or they move, or they go, and that's a deeper sense of self. That's a deeper message that is, we're aware of. So as you place your hands on your belly, you could say, may I be my authentic self. Oftentimes the heart and the belly, they're kind of hand in hand. May I be my authentic self. And authentic self is changing too. The authentic self, sometimes it says one thing and then it feels another. Maybe sometimes it's trying to figure its own self out. But ultimately, the authentic self, it's okay that the authentic self changes too. It's okay, that's not permanent either. The Buddha said nothing in life is permanent. I still think in life, sometimes permanency is a good thing. Like relationships and marriages, it's okay, if they end and at times and then you move forward and you get into a new one, that's okay. But just that you're working towards consistency. I think that's okay. I think it's okay. We know life's not permanent. What's telling us something we don't already know? So just that we find compassion in our life, just that we find appreciation. That's really what's important. Guys, I'm going to have you press your way on up. You're going to press your way on up once again. And I'm going to have you come into a different position right now. I'm going to have you lie on your back. You're going to take a block. You're going to place a block underneath your bolster. You can place a blanket on top. So let's say you don't have a bolster. I'll give you guys another instruction. And you'll just release your back down like this. Just like this. Legs extended, feet apart. Now, if you have low back issues, a recommendation that you may want is to place a couple of pillows underneath your legs. That's usually a good recommendation here. So you could do this. Just like this. Right? You could do this pose. This is great. Another recommendation, if this is just not suiting your fancy today, like it's not a good pose for you to take today, you could lie on your side. I always think side lying poses are really nice. They're good. Just make sure you have some support under your hip. Make sure you have some support over your hip. And again, if ever there's a position that's uncomfortable for you, you could let me know. Just say, hey, I'm in this position. Do you have any suggestions for another position I can take? And that way, because I can read through the chat. Unfortunately, I don't have the video on. But maybe in the future I'll get video up and running. If we get a consistent enough group of people, it's easier to kind of switch it over to video. But yeah, we'll figure it out. For right now, we'll kind of keep as is. So as you lie on your back, or if you're lying on your side, both options are okay. You could take your hands and just rest them over your pelvis, over your legs, like this or like this, and just say to yourself, may I be kind. Kindness is very challenging. It's actually interesting because we would think kindness is really easy. Like, it's easy. You just help out a neighbor. You help out a friend, or, there's homeless people, or there's, people going through this, people going through that. There's always people that can be helped, right? There is. There will always be people that can be helped. But kindness is a balancing practice. So if all you're doing is focusing on, helping others, then sometimes you lose that sense of your awareness, your sense of self. So kindness is just the compassion to feel yourself. And I think it does involve helping other people. I think offering classes, like this is an example, like offering, classes if people are interested, or being able to listen to people. Maybe you have a friend that's going through something, you're hearing them out. That does help. That really does help. Kindness, genuine kindness, is just trust, is really just trust. And knowing that at times we fall in and out of kindness. All of us. Even if you're a Buddhist monk, you practice your whole life. I don't care where you are. And I met some pretty kind monks. But even them go through ups and downs, if you want me to be honest. It's just a different way of life. It's not a bad way of life. I particularly enjoy it, to be honest, but it's a different way. We all have ways of life. And maybe what they teach is they teach listening. They're able to listen more, which is a good quality to have. It's a very good quality to have. Listening is such a good quality. So as you listen, you are able to feel a little bit more at ease. And I think that as you listen to yourselves now, as you find your way into this kindness, just see if you can offer out those traits of well-being. Start by offering them to yourself. So maybe this is something you're focusing on, like I'm working towards a relationship, or I'm working towards a job, or I'm working towards a family, or I'm working towards better friendship or better connection with people. Let that be your forefront. Now you offer kindness. So now it's like maybe a family member is struggling. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe a community member is struggling, or somebody that you know, or a friend, or whoever. And maybe offering them the thought that maybe you are the person to help out. But even if you're not, maybe just praying that there is some kindness of the universe that is helping that situation to move forward. So saying I hope that, so-and-so receive happiness. I hope that so-and-so receive peace. That idea that peace is happening. And I think about that as Kiyodaki wa, just for today. In the traditional Reiki, which, believe it or not, Reiki is a Japanese practice. But if you ask me, the tradition probably started somewhere in India or in the Middle East, because they've rooted Reiki way back before the master of Japan did it. It's just that's kind of where it got formalized, was in Japan. But it's been around forever. It really has been around forever. But nonetheless, I think that a formal tradition is good. It's like, Christianity came amongst Christ, or, Muslim came amongst Muhammad. But maybe, who knows, maybe these traditions started way before that, or Judaism, or it doesn't matter. Just that as a community, and this is always what I get back to, as a community, you can bring your traditions and you can collectively share harmony with one another, and living by the way of trying to reduce anger, living by the way of trying to reduce fear or suffering. That's what doctors try to do. It's the very first earth. Donum, I can't remember, but proctum donum, or donum proctum, which is do no harm. Proctum nonum dunum or something. I'll have to get my Latin back. So that idea of doing no harm is a Buddhist trait. That's something that we are concerned about. So obviously with what's been going on currently, and do I believe that this is going to be resolved? Yes, I do. I really do. I know, obviously, we'd like it to be resolved within the next year, obviously, but as long as we are trying to reduce harm to each other and harm to ourselves, we're doing okay. Next, that we live from a kind space. We live from our hearts. So now, guys, I'd like you to, instead of being on your back, roll to your side. So as I mentioned with you, you're going to just roll onto your side. You can roll onto your side like this. You can roll onto your side like this. Just roll onto a side, however you feel comfortable. And just breathe on your side. I memorized that. I knew, it's so funny. The things we do in life. I took 2 semesters in Latin and can't even remember a single donum proctum donum or something. I'll have to look it up again. But be happy. Be happy. And happiness fades in and out. What I remember is through various parts of my life. It's so funny because at various parts of my life, I've been in happy spaces, and in various parts of my life, I have not. And we go in and out of these waves, right? So sometimes we're in a really happy space. We feel good. And then, then 10 years go by, and then like we're on a downward spiral, and we're like, my life's not happy. What the heck? Why isn't it? And then all of a sudden something clicks, and you're like, okay, I'm back in happiness again. So maybe recognizing the fact that as we go on these ups and downs, as we go in these ebbs and flows, that we're trusting in this process of life. We're trusting. We're more trusting. It's okay to be somewhat off guard. It's okay to be somewhat like untrusting, especially in the very beginning. But if something feels right, I was sharing this with somebody today actually. If something feels right, it's okay. And trusting that it will work out. We may not know how, when, timelines, who knows. But just being okay with the process. Being okay with the process is oftentimes a really great approach to life. A person who is a founder of this Urban Zen movement, her name is Roshi Joan Halifax. Really amazing lady, teaches out of New Mexico. I've never been to her facility. She's got a really young teacher. He's probably around 30-something years old. Really young Roshi. He'll probably be teaching for the next 30 years in her stead. She's probably in her 80s. I know she's probably in her 70s. I don't know. She'll be around for hopefully a lot longer. She talks about this kind of trusting in the unknown. She uses, this is what she says. Her words are, unknowing is most intimate, or not knowing is most intimate. And it's true. So maybe as we approach our lives, instead of coming quickly to judgment and saying like, life is this way or life is that way, maybe approaching it with a thought, even just a thought of like, I may not know, and that's okay. And she's been doing that she's been talking about that for at least 10 or 15 years or 20 years. So she's kind of preaching it. She's been preaching it for a long time. So maybe that's the case. If she's been talking about it for that long, then maybe that is the case, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think that maybe as we approach our own lives, being a little bit more not as harsh on ourselves, and trusting that like there is compassion, even if sometimes we know like we have a thought of something and we really know in a present moment like what feels true in that present moment, whether it is or it's not. Whatever feels true, that's what feels true in that moment, whatever it is. And as long as you have that feeling, it's okay to be with that for that moment. If that feeling changes, it's also okay. That's what I learned from my teacher. And even to this day, and I haven't practiced them in like, I don't know, a while, but even to this very day, there's no other teacher that has even came close, to that level. I think I was talking about that with somebody yesterday in a class. I was just saying, when you connect, you connect. You don't know why, but that's the way it is. And like, if there's a teacher you connect with, it's you. It's your reflection. That's why you connect, And that's how I feel about my teacher. And I've had many very good teachers, mostly elders, mostly people who are guides, lots of experience, lots of wisdom. So, and there's young spirits and there's old spirits and there's everywhere in between, right? And even if you're a young spirit, you could become an old spirit and then you could come back to a young spirit. That's called life. So, guys, as we begin to press our way up, so find your way into a seated position whenever you're ready. Yeah, and I want to share with you guys, this class was a very more untraditional because I kind of narrated the whole time. It was a more narrational class. Sometimes I stick strictly to the Urban Zen TM, practice, like the entire, like, you give the oils and then you do this and then you do that. And sometimes I just go on an ad lib campaign. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this style of teaching as well. It's just sometimes it's like free thought form class. So, guys, I'm giving you guys a little channel right now. I'm thinking about you guys, just bringing you guys into the circle. So, Karen, Colleen, Madonna, Jonathan, you guys, I'm just thinking about you guys and wishing you all well-being. So starting there, I know we're in a virtual setting right now. Doesn't mean that we can't be on the same level. We're all connected. I believe that. I really do. If you're practicing with somebody in the same space, like time space continuum, then you're in the channel. You're in the network. So I recognize for all of you guys that your thoughts be uplifting today, that your beliefs be guiding you in your highest wisdom, that you may continue to connect with your whatever it is that makes you feel good in your life, whether that's a friend, a family, maybe reaching out to somebody you haven't reached out to in some time. It could be a good way. Like maybe it's a child, maybe it's a grandparent, maybe it's a niece or a nephew, or just maybe it's a friend that you haven't talked to in a while, and just reach out to them and just say, I just wanted to see how you're doing, I know that those are really small things. We don't think that they matter, but when sometimes our friends reach out to us, it makes us feel good. So it's sometimes good to reach out to people like that. And as you bring your hands to the center chest, I offer you this today. May you be peaceful. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you be well. And may you say that about myself. May I be peaceful, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be well. It's very important that you also self-affirm and that you guys affirm, and then maybe the world. So as the world continues to go on, guys, I'm sure you've seen many spirals in the world, okay? In history, right? Even over life, it's like this. It's like a roller coaster. It doesn't mean we can't get wrapped up in it. I think that that's a part of our lives. We have to. You can't just be like an emotionless and not feel the ebbs and the flows of the world, but that you kind of bring a sense of love and compassion towards yourself, towards the world, towards each other as a culture, our various practices, and then maybe as we practice together. So I hope that all of you have a wonderful day. Guys, I cannot explain to you enough how grateful I am to be able to connect with you guys. I know you guys personally like the Colleen, did I fade out a lot? Hold on, let me just see. Okay, thank you so much, Jonathan. I really appreciate that. Colleen, did it improve as the class went on? Just let me know. And also, if you guys want, you can always private message me as well if there's a technical issue, and that way I'll circumnavigate, so I'll figure that out. So I wanted to personally wish you guys a phenomenal rest of your day. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful to be able to share these practices. You guys are awesome. Jonathan, Colleen, Madonna, amazing. So I'm so grateful to be able to share these practices with you all. I was very gifted. My teacher taught in this way. And, I think when I say this way, he wanted to offer a practice that could really be intimate, but can also be highly functional. So I think that was his whole goal of when it came to teaching. And I hope that you guys have a phenomenal, phenomenal rest of your day. I hope you think only good thoughts. I hope that you connect yourself with good people. Your energy is good. If you find yourself ever in a downward space, I hope that you remember that you can find yourself into, okay, I felt that was what it was, Colleen. So anytime that happens in the future, just send a message through Facebook Messenger, and then that way I will know, and I will, because I can see that too. I can see through the group chat. I can also see through my Facebook Messenger. So if that ever happens, just let me know. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. So to Colleen, to Madonna, to Jonathan, Karen, as always, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a lovely day. And guys, keep writing down what your focus is. So remember this, when you set an intention into the universe, you do not know how that intention is going to come through. And it may come through at a various point in your life when all of a sudden you're at the grocery store and you connect with somebody. And all of a sudden you're getting into a chat with them. And then you're all of a sudden having tea with them. Be open. Discern. Of course, discern. You got to discern at this time. Don't walk around just la-di-da. Okay, perfect. Gotcha. That's what I wanted to make sure of. So have a phenomenal day, but remember to really allow the universe to lead its way. A lot of these things I'm sharing with you right now, these were things that I was putting into fruition 10 years ago. Okay, why did it take that long for it to come into fruition? Because sometimes in life, that's how life progresses. Sometimes it takes a long time for us to be able to develop in whatever way that we're working towards. It's not always instantaneous. It's definitely not always instantaneous. So, guys, as you continue to go, because I'm going on like a ad-lib campaign here, so I just wanted to wish you guys a phenomenal day. Colleen, once again, have a wonderful day. Madonna, Jonathan, Karen as well. I'm thinking of you guys. I'm only thinking, wishing you positive thoughts, and I hope that you guys continue to come back to your practice. Guys, also let me know if you like the format, if you want me to ever change the format, if you guys like to have another, Urban Zen-like class, come tomorrow, 5:30. I usually am good for that class. Or I may, if you guys just give me suggestions, give me recommendations. Be well, as otherwise I'm going to keep talking. Be well, be happy. Namaste, yogis. Thank you, guys.